Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're totally stripping away all the media hype, the wild social media rumors, and, the celebrity gossip. Instead, we're going to strictly examine the biological blueprint of what scientists are calling literally the most powerful weight loss drug ever created. We're diving straight into the hard science. I mean, think about it. What exactly happens inside your body the very moment you inject Ozempic? Well, today we're going to answer that by going on a journey through the actual anatomy and mechanics of this fascinating medication. Okay, let's dive into this. 50 pounds. Right now, millions of people across the globe are injecting this medication just once a week, and they're dropping up to 50 pounds. And the real kicker, straight from the clinical data, they're doing it without fundamentally changing their diet. I mean, how is that even biologically possible? To understand exactly how that works, here's our roadmap for the explainer today. First up, we'll look at what GLP-1 actually is. Second, how Ozempic works inside you. Third, we'll compare Ozempic versus Wegovy. Fourth, we'll check out the benefits beyond weight loss. And finally, the side effects warning. All right, section 1. What is GLP-1? So GLP-1, which stands for glucagon-like peptide 1, is this incredibly powerful hormone naturally living in and released by your small intestine every single time you eat. You can kind of think of it as a biological messenger. It tells your pancreas to release insulin, it tells your brain that you're full, and it tells your stomach to slow down. So your body already knows how to do this naturally. And this brilliantly illustrates the big catch. Your natural GLP-1 is fleeting. It lasts for just 2 minutes before your body completely breaks it down. But engineered Ozempic? It's built to survive in your system for 7 full days. It basically takes a fleeting 2-minute biological signal and stretches it out into a week-long command. Which brings us to section 2, how Ozempic works inside you. Let's track the active molecule here, semaglutide, as it actually travels through your bloodstream. It targets 3 major organs, basically sequentially hijacking your body's natural processes. First, it hits the pancreas, telling it to release insulin, but strictly only when your blood sugar is high, which prevents those dangerous spikes. Second, it travels right up to the brain, specifically targeting the hunger center, the hypothalamus, where it effectively switches off your cravings. You literally just stop feeling hungry. And third, it reaches your stomach, slowing down digestion by incredible 30%. Your food literally stays in your stomach for hours longer. When you put all 3 of these organ targets together, the combined systemic result is profound. You naturally eat less because your brain says you're full, and your stomach is physically emptying slower. Your blood sugar stabilizes safely. Because of these sweeping, automatic changes inside your body, the weight simply drops off. Which, brings us right back to that 50-pound impact we talked about earlier. Moving right along to section 3, Ozempic versus Wegovy. Now, let's clear up a major point of confusion in the market. The reality is, Ozempic and Wegovy are the exact same drug, semaglutide. The difference lies entirely in their FDA approvals and maximum dosages. As you can see, Ozempic is primarily targeted for diabetes, with a max dose of 2 milligrams, yielding an expected weight loss of around 10 to 15%. Wegovy, on the other hand, is specifically approved for weight loss, pushing that maximum dose up to 2.4 milligrams, which obviously drives the expected weight loss higher. So the crucial point is that 20% benchmark. In clinical trials, Wegovy patients lost up to 20% of their total body weight. Just to put that into perspective and visualize the sheer scale of that impact. On a 250-pound person, 20% equals exactly 50 pounds. All right, section 4, benefits beyond weight loss. The systemic advantages of this drug that extend way beyond simply shedding pounds are absolutely astonishing. Research is showing a 20% lower risk of heart attacks. There's a 15% reduction in bone fractures. Scientists are even observing that it may reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease. On top of that, it actively protects your kidneys and liver and helps restore your overall hormonal balance. These protective effects across the entire body are truly remarkable. Because of everything we've just seen in the data, it leads us to this incredibly powerful quote. Scientists now believe GLP-1 drugs could be the most important medical discovery of this century. Think about that. We aren't just talking about a highly effective diet aid here. We're looking at an absolute medical revolution playing out right in front of us. And finally, section 5, the side effects warning. Now, what's really interesting about this slide is seeing the sheer range of these physical tolls, because every medical revolution comes with a cost. 44% of patients experience nausea, along with vomiting and diarrhea.
But then we have the much more severe physiological costs. Up to 40% of the weight a patient loses can actually be muscle loss rather than fat. There's also a rare but very real risk of pancreatitis. And at the absolute highest level of regulatory caution, there is an FDA black box warning regarding thyroid issues. We absolutely have to give equal weight to these stark realities.
Ultimately, the big takeaway here is that these are extremely powerful tools, but they're not magic. Despite the revolutionary science we've just walked through, these drugs still require foundational health practices to actually work safely. They are best utilized when combined with healthy food, regular exercise, and absolute strict medical oversight from a doctor. Which leaves us with one final thought to close out our explainer today. As GLP-1 drugs completely revolutionize modern medicine, are we fully prepared to balance these incredible benefits against the very real biological costs? I want you to take that knowledge, think critically about the future of this medical marvel, and let it sink in. Thanks for joining me as we broke this all down. Keep learning and keep asking great questions.